92.1 WFOV. Sugar. And very appropriate because we're going to sweeten the pot. It's the Jazz Jacuzzi, the spot we call pushing the positive and people who make a difference. In studio right now, a very special local artist, and he's nationwide as well. I'd like to welcome Mr. T. Hurd. T, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, Lee. How you doing, bro?
I am great. So glad that Grace allowed you to stop by the studios on today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For the uninitiated, who is T. Hurd?
Well, T. Hurd is a musician, producer, and now artist. I've been an artist for about 2 years now. Decided to put my project out entitled The T. Hurd Project, Born to Play. And I've been in music all my life since I was, a teenager pretty much. And grew up in the church and, started in the church as a church musician and kind of grew from there. So just a musician, writer, producer, and just trying to do some better things, bigger things.
Back in the day, and not to date myself, were you a part of any of the local bands around, or were there even local bands around when you came up?
Well, being from Saginaw, I played with a local band, which actually my cousin, who founded the band called Quiet Storm. And it featured myself, a local artist named James Owens, who was the musical director for Angie Stone. My cousin, who's going on to be with the Lord now, Andre Smith and Tony Smith. And we traveled around the city, and, Quiet Storm was a hit back in the day. So,
You mentioned the name Tony Smith. Was that the Tony Smith?
Tony Smith from Saginaw is my cousin. I don't know I know there's a couple of Tony Smiths, but if you want to say the Tony Smith, yes.
Well, back in the day when I was coming along, there was a basketball player from Tony Smith. This man was bad. He could shoot the ball, run up into the stands, hug and kiss a lady, and watch it go.
Oh,
in.
wow.
So I remember Tony Smith.
Oh, yeah, but I don't think it's that Tony Smith.
Okay.
My cousin Tony Smith could play, but I don't think he can do that.
Okay. We're also talking about bands and things. So shout out to DJ Hollywood.
DJ Hollywood, what up, boy?
One of the baddest horn players around Flint.
I didn't even know he played horn. He just told me. We got to talk, man. We got to have a conversation about that.
That boy could play.
That's what's up. But
let's get back to T. Hurd.
Yeah.
Where are you headed right now musically?
Right now, I'm just trying to get my project off the ground. I just got signed a label deal, small label deal, but with a major distribution company. And I'm just trying to push my CD.
Okay.
I want to do some performances and festivals. I just want to play.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I want to play for people and just let them hear what T. Hurd sounds like.
Okay.
T. Hurd has played and performed with so many people behind the scenes, so many plays, and, but now I want to be in the forefront, and not to just be seen, but just to show people, what T. Hurd has and what T. Hurd has to offer and the gifts that God has given him. So that's where I'm at.
You've been around, you've mentioned some of the folk you've played with, locally anyway.
Yes.
Tell us about some of the more intricate, I'll say, community things that you've done. Maybe, have you done anything with McCree Theater?
Well, I did a show with Kathy, who was the director of Black Nativity. It was about 2 or 3 years ago, I think. And the show was pretty good. I think it ran for about a week.
Okay.
And it might have been 2 weeks, but that's pretty much the most. I mean, I've done some stuff way back in the day, with Kenny Berry, Talisha Berry, and doing some plays with the Wicked Ways and, the Mike Matthews, you know what I'm saying? So, as far as that, that's pretty much the gist of it. You know what I mean? But like I said, most recently, the Black Nativity.
We're going to have to get Paul Herring, our engineer and general manager, to pop in your disc.
Definitely.
So we can hear some of your music as we talk, and maybe a little back and forth, you can give us maybe the backstory on some of those musical projects.
Definitely, definitely.
You mentioned another name from my past, Mike Matthews.
Yes, sir.
What's it like to work with that Saginaw native?
Oh man, Mike is extremely talented, extremely gifted. Has always been extremely talented and extremely gifted. When I first encountered Mike, it was back in Saginaw. I forget the name of the place, but I was so excited to just audition. I was trying to audition to be a stage manager, for one of his plays, and I was just at awe back then. Mike Matthews was the Tyler Perry of today. And Mike, I mean, he's still, the man, but,
Yes.
as coming up as a young guy, a young musician, a young person that's trying to strive to, get into that field of plays or whatever. Mike Matthews was, that name, that Tyler Perry back in the day. So.
Yes. For myself, working with Mike, we were employed at another radio station at the same time together.
Okay.
And he wanted to put together a TV show. So we assembled local talent and we augmented it with some national talent, such as Nephew Tommy.
Oh, yeah.
Who's
Okay.
with Steve Harvey.
Right.
Melba Moore flew in.
Wow.
The ironic piece of this, it was about two brothers in the numbers game.
Okay.
It was called the Flynns.
Okay.
It almost mimicked Empire.
Wow.
And we ran out of money post-production.
So really, that should be the Empire of today.
Yes, it should be.
Wow.
So let's get back to T. Hurd.
Yes, sir.
Where do you find your inspiration?
Mostly from the church. God is always, going to be first in my life. And right now I'm a musician at Greater Grace, where Bishop Charles Ellis is a pastor in Detroit. And for the most part, I've been a church musician all my life. So, I get my inspiration from that, and then of course the people that I've worked around, we mentioned Sophia, Janelle, who's one of my dear friends and incredible artists,
Yes.
And just local people that I've come up with, what I'm saying? So that's kind of my inspiration, and, just whatever God gives me, that's like, it inspires me. So, that's where I get it from.
CD's in. It's in 3 or 5 on your
Oh,
soundboard.
okay.
All right, and it's looping. It's just playing.
Speaking of what God gives you,
Yes, sir.
God told me to tell you there's a park right across the way there.
Wow.
And anytime you feel like playing, let us know, and we'll see if we can set you up over there.
Let's make it happen. We gotta wait. Let's make it happen.
Well, we might have to get the legal thing.
Okay, yeah,
taken
exactly.
care of.
Yeah. We don't want to just go over there and get kicked out.
Yeah. Juneteenth coming up. Somewhere around the 15th,
Yeah,
16th,
16.
17th,
I seen that.
18th.
I saw that. Yep, I saw that.
So maybe we can get you on over there.
Let's do it.
Okay,
I would
sounds
love to
good.
do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, pushing the positive and people who make a difference here at 92.1 WFOV. I am Dr. Lee Bell, and my special guest in studio right now, Mr. T. Hurd. And I'm going to pot this up, and we're going to get a little taste of T. Hurd.
How to put it down.
Okay, turn the mics off there momentarily.
Okay. Tell him to if he can play number 3.
Okay.
Actually, the drummer.
I wonder how Facebook's gonna treat us.
The
With
drummer.
this music?
I just got off the phone with the drummer. He just got it playing. He's playing for Tim Bowman over at United some church. Just got off the phone. He's
Man,
playing.
I'll make you guys the headliner if you want.
He's playing on this album.
I don't have a headliner for something.
For where?
For 17th Father's Day.
What's happening?
We having a concert over here in the park.
This week?
Yeah,
I mean next week?
Sunday the 17th.
Okay. Well, let's talk about it.
Sunday the 17th.
Okay. Well, what time? Because I'm in Detroit. We can do that.
Late. We're talking about maybe 8 to 9, 8 to 8:45.
Okay, we can do that. That's Chris Brooks now texting me. He must have got it.
Do you think you can get number 3 at some point, Paul?
3?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I can.
That's my single. Yeah.
You want to just back it out, and I'll change it now.
Okay, and then we'll come back in and talk. Back talk.
You're on 3.
Hey, baby.
You know, I have to talk about it.
Well, you know the usual. How beautiful and wonderful you are to me. Yeah, I just love to say your name.
It's a song that everybody loves.
Okay.
I don't think I ain't listened to it. I don't think that caught me.
Yeah. I mean, when I first, did the song, put it out, my single was going to be the wedding song, Will You Marry Me? The one that just said you like.
Yeah, that's one I love.
Yeah, but people, they like this because it's like a ballroom kind of song. And everywhere I go, this the song they like.
Okay.
I played it at a fashion show a couple of weeks ago, and they was like, "That's your CD?" I was like, "Yep." They said, "Okay, we about to walk to that."
Okay.
So I was like, "Wow, okay."
It does have that feel to it.
Cool. Going all over the worldwide, man. About to do it.
When I first met Pierre, listening to his CDs, and I dubbed him Mr. Happy Hands.
It's the happy hands there. I've been knowing Pierre for a long time. Actually, Joe Washington was used to
Not
be
the Joe Washington.
the Joe Washington was my manager at one point. Yep.
Oh, Joe got around.
Yeah.
I might start playing that.
Yes, sir. That's the single. That's the video.
Ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, you good?
Uh,
All right, stand by.
You lift your feet up.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. 4, 3, 2, 1. You're back.
92.1 WFOV, the Jazz Jacuzzi. People who make a difference, pushing the positive. My special guest, T. Hurd. We're listening to Chantel. Give us the backstory on that, T.
Well, the backstory is that I was inspired by my ex, whose name is actually Chantel, and when I did the song, I mean, I wasn't going to actually do an album, but she kind of inspired me, to do a few songs or whatever. And that was one of the songs that inspired me, It's more of the song was kind of like about her, but it could be about whoever your Chantel is.
Mhm.
Your Chantel is your wife, your girlfriend, or whatever. So it's kind of like a love story kind of song, and that's actually how my CD is kind of made up as a love story. It starts with Chantel, I need your love. Will you marry me? you make me feel so good. You know what I'm saying? The things about a woman.
So I guess she told you no.
Well, long story, but nah, we just.
Or did you tell her no?
Nah, we just, how we just went our separate ways, but
Okay.
still friends, definitely. Still friends.
Are there more songs inspired by her to come, or have you moved on?
No, I've moved on pretty much. And I'm working on. There are some songs that didn't even make the album.
Mm-hmm.
About 4 songs that that I would stay up late at night, and I just kind of got an inspiration actually from God, and just staying up, just trying to think of some stuff, some songs, or what can I do different, or where can I go, where I hadn't gone,
Mm-hmm.
and the album is really versatile, so it's a lot of good music, a lot of good music.
What musicians inspire you?
Wow, that's like so many guys. I mean, even especially guys now, the young guys now. But growing up, we in my house, mama's household, my dad's household, we couldn't listen to certain kind of music. We only could listen to gospel. So therefore, I was inspired by a lot of gospel musicians like the Craig Tysons. Craig Tyson is not here anymore, but his brother's still here, alive. Sean Tyson, phenomenal musicians. Kevin Bond, the great Kevin Bond. I mean, played for Evan Hawkins. I mean, man, I used to be at all. When I went to the Saginaw chapter, and Evan Hawkins would come to Saginaw, and he did a workshop every year. And actually, back then I was playing bass, believe it or not.
Okay.
Yeah, I was playing bass, and Kevin Bond was on the keys, and I was just like it all. So
you're talking about the gospel music workshop?
Gospel music workshop,
Okay.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You've also, as we were talking, you played with the Jeffrey LaValle.
The man himself.
Yeah.
Actually, we did an album with Kevin Bond, with Evan Hawkins, for the Saginaw chapter seminar. And Jeffrey LaValle was on organ, Kevin Bond was on keys, I was on bass, my cousin who I mentioned earlier was on guitar, and Joel Smith, the man, was on drums.
Okay. We're listening to some of your music in the background. How can we get our hands on it?
You can go on all social media, iTunes, Amazon, Spotify. It's everywhere, YouTube. And all you do is type in the THET with a period, Herd, HERD project. The T Herd project. And it's spaced out. Born to Play. That's the name of the album.
That's pretty simple, but would you repeat it again?
Yes, the T Herd, HERD project, Born to Play. And that song you just heard was Chantel. It's my single. So make sure you check it out. The video will be coming out, and the video teaser is out now, but the video will be coming out soon. So you'll be hearing more of T Herd.
Okay. A word for those aspiring musicians coming behind you or who may have been next to you for many years. A word for them.
Keep God first. That's the main thing. Keep God first. Stay humble, and stay focused. Those are the main things. Don't lose focus. And you're gonna go through some ups and downs in life, and that's part of life. But you gotta stay humble. Don't wear a chip on your shoulder. And I'm speaking from experience because I used to be one of those who wore a chip on the shoulder. You know what I'm saying? We were, and just a real quick story. We were out with Donnie McClurkin, and he said something to me, and that I wasn't doing, but all the fellas kind of rallied and said, "Hey, man, T, at the end of the day, it don't even matter." And I had to go back in my hotel and think like, you know what, I did all that for nothing. It really didn't matter. So stay humble, and stay focused and keep God first. That's the main thing.
I traded in chips on the shoulder for these applets.
Okay.
They're much lighter.
They lighter. There you go.
T, can I let the cat out of the bag possibly?
Yes, sir.
There's a good chance you might be performing right across the street from the studios.
Yes, sir.
On Father's Day during Juneteenth this year.
Yes, sir.
That's the Juneteenth Father's Day Cookout at University Square Park at the corner of University Drive and Grand Traverse, right across from Jimmy John's.
Yes, sir.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you like what you hear in the background, the T Herd Project, check T Herd out live during Juneteenth. We're we're talking to his people right now, trying to make that happen.
Yes, sir.
T, we've talked about keeping God first.
Yes.
In your mind's eye, where do you see yourself going as a musician?
Oh, wow. I want to see myself going, to the top, and traveling and performing my music all over the world. One of my inspirations would be to play all overseas, like China. I've never been to China, I've been to London, but I want to play overseas to, different countries and let my music, let my gifts be known over there, So that's kind of where I see myself. That's where I want to see myself, God's willing. I've had some challenges with this health challenges over the years, but I'm really a walking miracle. If you only knew, I'm a walking miracle to even be sitting here, talking to you today.
Good God.
Yeah, God is amazing. Just had a stroke last year, pacemaker, defibrillator. Nobody would ever know.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Somebody told me the other day I look 30. So God is good, man. He's great.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Just taking a moment to let what you said sink in a little bit.
Yeah.
Sitting in studio here at 92.1 WFOV inside the Jazz Jacuzzi with T. Hurd. In the background, some of his great music. And one day you will look back and say, I heard him on the Jazz Jacuzzi. Let's take a listen.
Cameras are clear.
Before we close out, T,
Yes.
for people trying to find their gifts and talents, any special insights?
Do your homework, do your research, study. The Bible says study to show yourself approved of God. And that's the biggest thing. And that's one of the things that I actually didn't do when I was, growing up. I wish I had took theory. I would be a whole lot farther than where I am. God has given me the gift to be able to hear and play by ear and do the things that I've done, and the connections I've made. So that's kind of helped me. But if you have the opportunity to learn theory and go to school and do that, please do. Please, you will expound your music talents. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be on a whole different level. Like a lot of these cats now, these young cats, I'm looking at them like, wow, but they're going to school. They're going to Berkeley and all these different schools, that I wish I had done, So if you got an opportunity to do that, please do. Please do. Do your research, do your studying.
A true story, a young man very talented from this area. He attended Greater Holy Temple Church. Gifted musician. Got all the way to high school not reading music. In high school, the music teacher convinced him to learn music.
Okay.
And he went on to play professional. A member of Midnight Star. Music director for Tony Braxton and Babyface.
Bo Watson.
Yes, Bo Watson.
Good friend of mine.
All right.
Good friend of mine. He heard my CD and he told me when he heard me play, because I did some stuff with Joe Washington that I told you about. And he said, who is this cat? He sounds like me.
Yes, I can see the comparison.
Wow, that's a compliment, though. That's really a compliment. Yes. Bo Watson is the man.
T, thanks for stopping by and sharing your music, your gifts, your talents.
Thank you, Dr. Bell, for having me. Anytime.
And a shout out to Betty Hendricks.
Yes, Betty.
T and I were at her place earlier today.
Yes. And
she gave me a call at 2:00, said she's listening to your project.
Wow.
And she approves.
God bless.
All
yes,
right.
sir.
We will now return you to your regularly scheduled program, The Jazz Jacuzzi. I am Dr.lee Bell, reclaiming the pyramids here at 92.1 WFOV. Our Voices Radio, yours and mine. Keep listening.